Well, I'm so glad that you're joining me here in this space. I just really wanted to provide you an opportunity. I spent some time writing a Bible study or a devotional for a women's retreat at my church, and I wanted to share that with you and have you be able to participate. The entire retreat was based on this concept, this idea that Jesus wants to offer us rest, and it was based on Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30, and I'll read those to you in a few minutes. But I wanted to just share with you a story. I want you to consider what is an activity that you've been invited to or an event you've been invited to that you were really excited about or had a unique invitation. For me, just about a year and a half ago, my husband and I received a wedding invitation, but it was really unique and different because it only had the bride and groom's first names. And I was trying to do this association. Who is this? I asked him. I wasn't quite sure, and it just sent us to a website. It had done away with the traditional parents invite you. They didn't even have last names. And so I went to the website and found out who it was. It was a cousin and a fiance we had never even met. So once I was able to place who it was that was involved, I found it a neat, interesting, and unique way of inviting. But there's something about invitation that just makes us feel special, included, accepted, wanted, because somebody is inviting us into part of their life, into something that matters to them, or to an event that has prestige and prominence, and that's exciting. And so when we look at the scripture of Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30, I want you to remember that is an invitation. And it says this. I'm going to read it for you. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. First and foremost, these verses are an invitation to come. And I did some research on the word come, and it's translated from the Greek word doute. And it is in the imperative form, meaning come, come now. It's not just a bland request. Could you come when, if it pleases you? It is this imperative, this come now. It's urgent, it's crucial, it's important. Come. Who's being invited? Those who are weary and heavy burdened. Anyone been there before? Anyone there right now? I bet you are. God is inviting us. Christ is inviting us to come now. And I think it's just to look at that verse a little bit more in depth. I think it's really unique aspect of what Christ is offering in these verses. He's simply offering himself as the solution for our burdens. You know, we're a society that is obsessed with self-help and self-improvement and step-by-step plans on how to execute getting better and achieving our goals. And while those things have their place, in these verses, we are not invited to do more, but we are invited to come, to be, to give. It's as if Jesus is saying, come to me, believe in me, trust in me. I am who I say I am. I will do what I say I will do. Trust me, come to me. That's a simple invitation. And I think it's also important to know what is left out of this invitation. It says, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest. We are promised that we will find rest, but what was omitted, what is left out is, it doesn't tell us how we're going to find that rest and how our burdens are going to be lifted. It doesn't tell us when our burdens are going to be lifted. It's just a promise that they will. I will come and give to Jesus my burdens, and I will take something from him. I will receive his yoke. And so I've written a Bible study for you to be able to work through just a few verses. It's part devotion, part Bible study. It's not super in-depth. But during this, you're going to read some verses in Scripture, and then you're going to ask questions like, who is being invited? What is being offered? And then what is the response? What is the way that this is received? What is the way that this is accepted? And so those are just some of the questions. I will give you a heads up that the scriptures, some of them may be familiar, some of them less familiar. So I always encourage having a good study Bible. Read the footnotes if you need some more information. You may even want to back up and read verses before and after, maybe the entire chapter surrounding it, so that you can have some idea of the context in which the verses, these invitations, have. Because when I read that invitation to come, I was intrigued. What other invitations does God offer us in Scripture? Because I know Scripture is full of promises. I know that Scripture is full of commands, but what are the invitations? What are these gifts that are given for me to receive, for me to accept, for me to respond to? And so this devotion is going to have several different invitations that we can receive and respond to. So you can find that link below this video and download that PDF file and begin to understand you are invited into so many things in your relationship with God, and you can begin to see those in Scripture and how they play out in your life. So thanks for joining me. If you want to do the second day devotion, it's on a different video, so you can find that. But for now, this is You're Invited, and I thank you for spending your time with me. Bye.